Europe could deploy about 100,000 troops to Ukraine as peacekeepers. The so-called deterrent force could be formed by a coalition of 5 to 8 countries, a Ukrainian official told Reuters on condition of anonymity. Analysts and officials are reported to be giving different estimates of the size of such a force, stressing that much will depend on its specific mission. It is believed that about 40,000 European troops would be appropriate. According to Austrian military expert Franz-Stefan Gadi, now at the International Institute for Strategic Studies under a rotation scheme where units prepare for deployment and recover after deployment, a mission could involve about 100,000 troops. This will certainly stretch European ground forces considerably, he noted. In addition, he stressed that in such a case, European countries would have to reduce other missions, in particular, peacekeeping in the Balkans. Italian Defense Minister Guido Crosetto has said peacekeepers should operate under the auspices of the United Nations, but other officials say that would give Russia, a permanent member of the UN Security Council, too much influence. The media also says Europe will have to persuade the United States to participate, at least in intelligence and other operational support. Earlier, the former advisor to the US Secretary of State noted that every country that is a member of NATO can send peacekeepers to Ukraine without permission. Former US Secretary of State advisor Matthew Bryza said that each NATO country can send its peacekeeping troops to Ukraine without permission from the entire alliance. It is quite possible that any of these countries could offer their peacekeeping forces outside NATO. However, it is not entirely clear to me whether some kind of umbrella organization or special mandate is needed for this. NATO members can act independently, including deploying their peacekeeping forces, since they will definitely not be able to obtain a mandate from the UN Security Council without Russia's consent. And Russia will obviously never agree to NATO members sending their peacekeepers to Ukrainian territory. But this is not the problem, he said. According to the diplomat, only Ukraine should decide and give permission for the deployment of peacekeeping forces on its own territory. Also, each NATO country has the sovereign right to deploy its own peacekeepers without the approval of the UN and the alliance.
At least 11 people died after a fire engulfed the entrance of a cafe in the Vietnamese capital shortly before midnight on Wednesday, trapping people inside, local authorities reported. The blaze blocked the entrance to the cafe and emitted thick smoke into the 3-story building where over a dozen people were inside, officials said. The fire was extinguished after an hour, they said, adding 7 people were rescued after managing to get onto a balcony. 11 bodies were later brought out on stretchers. Police said the victims died of smoke inhalation. Officers later said they had arrested a 51-year-old man in connection with the blaze.